This is what it's like working at an exotic car dealership. You'd probably imagine that every day is like this. But in reality,
coming to bed, honey?
Yes, dear.
alright, I'm kind of kidding, but let me explain. I work for European Exotic Center here in Tampa, Florida. No, not European Wax Center, European Exotic Center. We are an exotic car dealership specializing in all the exotic brands: Ferrari, Lambo, McLaren, Porsche, Koenigsegg, etc. More specifically though, I work full-time as the media director, so I handle all things content creation related. I film all the car reviews, which you see here on my channel. Testing the bumps. I'm also in part-time sales, so I do help out with the sales side of things as well. I sell a car here and there, but I also do a handful of other things. I photograph cars for the website, and I do a few other small things here and there that I'll get into later in the video. I've been in the industry now for 6.5 years. I used to work at Gulf Coast Motorworks down in Naples, a couple hours south. I made a video a few years ago about working there, but I've learned some new things since. I could start off by showing you my day-to-day routine, but the reality is that every day is different. Sometimes vastly different than the previous. There are a couple basic things that I'll do pretty much every morning. I'll get to my desk, I'll check emails, check any kind of social media messages, get the music on the speakers in the showroom, get that shit bumping for the day. And then after about 20-30 minutes is when things can drastically change, or not, or it could just be a slow day. I'm just at my desk most of the day editing, answering phone calls, talking to customers, whatever. But then there are days where it's like, hey, drive this Ferrari to Daytona, 3 hours away, and then that's my whole day. It's very sporadic. There are mornings where I'll get to work and I'm immediately sent to go drop off a car to a body shop, and I don't even have time to breathe yet. Like, I literally just sat down and I'm immediately sent somewhere. I picture all the cars for the website, edit vehicle descriptions with the correct options, mileage, etc. Just make sure the listing is accurate before it goes live. My favorite part of the job, 100%, is the car reviews. And for those who don't know, that basically just means that I'll take a car out and talk about it on camera for a couple of hours. That's about it. Simple as that. State my opinion, throw in some humor. Honestly, I would rather be told that I have Ebola than to be told to put the top up on this car. I try to do it ideally once a week. It's not always realistic though, because I mean, I'm always doing a bunch of other stuff. That process takes around 2 hours. All right, so this is where I do basically all of my car reviews. The actual driving bits are along this road here. Normally I'll just pull up here, get some B-roll, possibly some other introduction shots. That's about it. I mean, I just got here. I'll probably get some B-roll for 10-15 minutes, if that, and then take her out and drive her around for probably, let's say, 40 minutes. Got my lav mic on, although the little clip-on thing fell off, supposedly, so I guess, I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of dangle it. Currently, the camera is attached to a dual suction cup. Slap that on the windshield, and then I have a GoPro Hero 9, which also goes on the windshield for that sort of central look in the cabin. And then, of course, other exhaust clips. I post reels, TikToks, maybe some snippets from my car reviews with a bit of Gen Z humor thrown in there. 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. But even crazier, 0 to 100 in 5.7 seconds. It is eye-openingly quick. Like, it's kind of living on the edge. Are you sleeping?
No.
Other things my day could consist of is putting gas in cars, picking up customers from the airport if need be, dropping off or picking up cars from a client's house. Sometimes I'll swap cars. So like this one time I took a McLaren 12C to a customer's house and I picked up his 720S. And that was actually pretty cool because I got to really see the difference between the 12C and 720S like back to back like that. And me being a car reviewer was just kind of cool to actually experience. I do some email marketing, design email blasts. Of course, I post on social media daily. You are going to have to get used to hearing cars starting up all the time. Not that that's a complaint. I also enjoy collaborating with local videographers and photographers. It is a great way to build exposure. I'll collaborate with other YouTubers such as Sam Crack. We did a whole video a while back. We'll go to Cars and Coffee events every month. We'll also host Supercar rallies, so we'll drive a couple of hours north on some really nice, windy, almost European-esque back roads. We'll have 20 or 30 exotics with us. Stop for lunch. Those are always a good time. Another question I get is, how often do you get to drive the cars? Fortunately, quite a lot. If I really sit back and think about it, I mean, I probably drive a car just about every day. Sometimes we'll have a couple of days where maybe it's raining a lot outside, or it's just kind of slower and that's not needed, and I won't drive anything for a few days. I mean, it just kind of depends. I do every now and then take cars home. If there is a car show after hours and there's no point of me coming back afterwards, like I might as well just take it home. That happens every now and then. It actually happened just a couple of days ago with Red GT3. So I think this is actually the first time I'm doing a review from my own home. Normally I just take the cars straight from the showroom and out to the film location, but ended up taking a car home last night, attended a car show on the way home, and so I'm actually going to take it back out for a car review this morning, and once I'm done with that, I'll take it back to work. One downside, if you consider it a downside, is that you do get quite desensitized to the cars. To the point where we'll start calling cars mid. like cars that come in, you know, sort of joking, but I'm a genuine car guy, like from the heart, and I still get pretty giddy over certain cars. When I'm filming car reviews, I am genuinely happy and in my element, but there are times where I'll be driving a car and I'm just like, I'm sort of zoned out. I'm just like, oh my god, this is what I've always dreamed of, being able to be around cars like this and, you know, let alone drive them. You kind of have to pinch yourself sometimes. That's with any industry. If you're in the yacht industry, you're gonna get used to yachts. Like, you have to remind yourself how fortunate you are. The fact that we're in South Florida doesn't really help with that, because South Florida and I'd say California are like the two craziest exotic car hubs in the country. When some kid from Ohio comes in and he's freaking out, it puts it back into perspective. Another thing that we'll do, I mean, this is any dealership, but is moving cars around. You do it all the time. Parking these cars pretty close to each other can be kind of nerve-wracking, but you get used to it pretty quick. A lot of times some random side quests will pop up for me. The other day I had to fix our Spotify account because the music wasn't playing in the showroom anymore and it was just being weird. There is a lot of searching for people, so like it's kind of, I don't want to say discombobulated, but maybe a little bit, where everybody's just doing their own side quests. People aren't really just at their desk like all day long. It can be to the point where there's a customer who came in for somebody and you can't find that person. And of course this depends on the dealership, but from my experience, my coworkers have all been hilarious to work with. Just great kind of back and forth chemistry, kind of picking on each other, but like we're actually friends where we could hang out outside of work, which is a massive plus. And I know people are going to ask, like, what's the pay like? I'm not going to get into that because every dealer's different. I mean, it just depends on the position. It's decent. I mean, it's not, people think, oh, you must be driving a Ferrari if you work there. Like, no. One very common question that I get is, how did you get into the industry? And my answer is always network. That sounds very cliche, but go to car shows, talk to the owners of these cars, talk to the people putting on the shows, be involved in the scene. That is how I got into it, how I got started, filming car events on my own, just on my own time. On this channel, if you go way back, you'll see some of my early cinematic videos. I'll taught myself how to do that. I didn't go to school for it. Through trial and error, built up my skill set, met a lot of great people along the way, including people that trusted me to film car reviews with their cars. I used to spend most of my time behind the camera filming cinematic videos, but now I've sort of shifted into a more of a personality in front of the camera, which I much prefer. I can't recommend this industry enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you guys in the next car review.